had a staff that had run-throughs, and Al Michaels, who does the ABC or NBC now, Sunday Night Football,
right.
he was the host. He represented Jim Lang and Bob Eubanks. He did all of our run-throughs, and occasionally I would go in and sit with the judges. We had staff members working as judges to see, and we had a code, an incredible code that I can't remember what it was, but we all had this little code that we used for these contestants, and if they passed by, they wouldn't understand it at all, and we picked the contestants that way, whether they were answering the questions, whether they were good looking or not, and all sorts of other ramifications. I read in all the New York papers a while ago that we had some serial killer on the show, but we never checked if they were divorced. I mean, they had to bring in. But we did on the Newlywed Game. We checked whether they were divorced or not. I mean, if they were married.
Right.
But these people were generally single, and we just took it for granted that they were, and used it as such. The girls that did the show were in a separate room, and the guys were in a separate room. So they only met after they came around the partition, and that's how we met. She met them. I once had a show where I used the Marquee Chimps, and they were on the 3 seats, and the chimp that she picked went around and bit her. I just realized that we could do that, and we could have a guy and 3 pretty girls. And, Michael Jackson asked 3 little girls. He must have been around 8 or 9 at the time to go out on a date, and we did those kind of things. They just went to restaurants in the Los Angeles area. Occasionally, we'd send them to San Diego or San Francisco, but I don't think we did that in San Diego or San Francisco. Now that I think about it, I think that they just went into restaurants in the LA area because it was just a night. I got a call from the powers that be in New York that said that they wanted to use the dating game at night, but they needed something different to happen. So I thought of the idea that, and I really had a tough time thinking about what that idea would be. And I thought romantic capitals of the world, Paris, London, so forth and so on. And that's when we started to use chaperones, because, and the chaperone in our company, I used company chaperones, and I used anyone who was 21 years or up, and they had to make sure that company, that couple was really chaperoned, or else they would be fired. And I don't think any one of them wanted to lose their job over this ridiculous chaperoning situation. I think we needed a chaperone. I don't think anybody would allow I don't think at the time people would let their daughters go to Europe or places like that without a chaperone. I just thought it was necessary. My mother chaperoned a date in I think Hawaii, and the girl, they had just built that hotel, and the girl's legs came through the ceiling of the restaurant. No, not the girl, but a person up above, maybe a workman, and all the plaster of Paris fell on this girl's head, and I think she had a lawsuit, but I don't think she was smart enough to know about it. People complained about the girl or the guy that they were with. Not a lot, but they did do that. But sometimes they would complain about the dates on the local program. I mean, I sent Bob Einstein to a bar mitzvah in Philadelphia, and he complained about that. He didn't think that was an appropriate date.